This whole thing is pulled out backwards, so I'm gonna have to pull it forward. Oh shit. Hey everyone, just want to do a little update after the last ride there. It was a pretty good ride. I heard some rattling from the back, or a thunking. I thought maybe the sway bar bushings were getting dry or starting to go again, but I went to push. I went to push the machine, and it's a little loose. So I'll show you what I found here. I just did a quick look underneath. Get some light. See those bolts? It's like they're all totally loose on that side. And on this side, the bolt's missing, and that one's loose. I'm not even sure why the hole's not lined up there. It's got to go up or something, or down. So just those 4 bolts hold this whole rear end together. The machine's 5 years old now. 2016, and that's the first time those bolts have come loose. So that was kind of interesting to find. And I know on the front, something else to look for if you ever wonder why it's clanking or whatnot. These screws down here that hold the front, if your front end starts clanking and shaking, check those. They might be loose, because they've loosened right off a few times. I think I put red Loctite on them now. And if you remember from the second last ride, I hooked the rear bumper cap on a tree, and I actually bent this out a bit. I'll have to loosen it off and push it in, but the cap mount broke on the top here. It takes an awful lot to break these. These have been really good caps. These are the ones from Farrow ATV.com. Bottom mount is still good. The top one is the one that broke. But Steve at arrowatv.com saw my post, and he sent me out another one right away. So I received it. Just I guess it came in the mail the same day I went for the ride, so I didn't have a chance to change it. But so I got a brand new one. Thanks, Steve. If you got the plastic caps on the end, these are way better than the plastic caps. And everybody says, well, if you change to the harder caps, you hit something, you're going to bend your bumper. Well, you're going to bend it anyways with the plastic caps, because see this steel that runs all the way around? The bumpers are actually joined. The newer models have the updated caps, so I'm not sure when that started. I think 2019, but all the ones before that have the plastic one, this is what you get. See, it's got that piece of steel, so it's going to bend anyways, but these take an awful hit to break them. I've only broken 2, and one was colliding with another machine that clipped Richard on his 1000 and broke one, and now I hooked this on a tree, but they take quite the abuse. You can paint them or whatever. But anyways, I thought I'd just give you that little update. Something to keep an eye out for. These bolts come loose after a lot of use. Okay, so this whole back bracket attaches to the shock mount, and this whole thing is pulled out backwards, so I'm gonna have to pull it forward. See if this pulls it back in line. Yeah, nicely. And there's a nut insert in here that kind of slides. So the nut is held in there. So I just got to find a bolt to fit that nut. A little bit longer. I don't know if this bolt is too big or find out. Alright, so the inserts come right out. That's the clip that's bent and why it's not letting the bolt go in. Straighten that out and I'll see if I can. I think I'm just going to replace that with a normal nut. Okay, so I'm just going to replace that nut insert with a normal lock nut. I'm going to see if I get some Loctite in on the back of those and tighten them all up, and it should be good. Well, these are 13 mil nuts, and it appears that the old ones all have the nut insert behind them. So I'll just have to try and dump some. I can put red Loctite on it, because I don't intend on taking this bracket off, and even if I do, I can still get it apart. Okay, new bolts are on. I had to actually cut off the bolts on the other side here because the nuts, those little cylinder nuts, that they just have a little clip on to hold them. Well, the clips were damaged and the nut just spun, so I had to cut those off, put new bolts in, new nuts in. That's done. And the new bumper cap is on, complete with nice shiny reflector. So that's all done. So I don't know if we'll be riding again this year. It's starting to get cold and snowy. We'll see what happens. Keep you posted. Gotta do a bunch of maintenance to this thing. Tear it down, check everything. Make sure it's good for next year. Alright everybody, take care, stay safe, and we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.